And one of the coolest things that I think I've seen in sports in a really long time, every single player from both teams gathering in a word of prayer before the game. Now it's time to knock each other's heads off. Here we are from the lovely McKendree Rec Plex, where the Highland Bulldogs are the visitors, and let's hear the intros. All right, here we are at the McKendree Rec Plex tonight. The Highland Bulldogs are the visiting team. They're wearing their big red jerseys with the H in the center, and they'll be taking on Belleville, the entire city, Belleville. Bulldogs coming off of a tough loss last night where in the first game of the season they dropped 6-1 to the Bethel 2 Eagles. Belleville has a lot going for them this year, and it starts between the pipes for them. Baron Arbiter is a darn good goalie. Konieczny between the pipes for the Bulldogs. We've got Hicks, Ressman, Josh Ressman, and a turnover quick. And Belleville is on the board as the Bulldogs turn it over. And they're down 1-0 in the first 6 seconds of the ball game here. As number 17, Henry Reed, puts them on the board. That was a quick one. So, we'll lace them up tight and we'll try it again. Josh Ressman on the faceoff. He's got Kyson Hoyt on D. It's Cooper Hicks. Hicks on with Reagan Dort. Cleared across the crease. Kyson Hoyt's going to go back for that. He's getting wrestled around. Josh Ressman flips it up. Off of the blocking pad of Arbiter. A couple Bulldogs collide behind the net. And here comes Belleville. Tries to get it in front. Does. Knocked away by Kyson Hoyt. Reed skates the puck. Gets back checked by Nimmo. Belleville keeps it in. Kraus makes a nice little nifty move. Makes one move, gets around, gets into the center, shoots, and puts one by Konieczny to make it 2-0. Belleville. So 2 quick goals in the first minute of the game. On the first 3 shots, Nimmo now centering Patton Weiss and Luke Gunter. Gus Tolley and Deacon Aravik back on D for the Bulldogs. Aravik breaks that up. That one comes to Gunter. Gunter weaves around a little bit. He's put into the boards. Gunter comes up with the puck. He shoots it low. Off of the stick, the goaltender Arbiter. Gunter battles for it again behind the net where he gets it taken from him. And here comes Belleville. They can't get around Deacon Aravik. Aravik tries to get it to Gunter. That's broken up. And we're going to be offsides. And we'll pull it back for a face-off. Outside of Bulldog enemy territory. 12:24 to go here in the first. Belleville 2, Highland 0. 2 quick goals by the Belleville team. Hauer and Oren on right now. Being centered by, it looks like Kyson Hoyt is back out there. Bulldog defense loses it. Brown takes this and pushes it back into Bulldog territory behind the net. Belleville claims control of the puck. Tipped in front, and that one goes in. And Belleville has a 3-0 lead. That one was tipped right in front, and it snuck right inside the pipe. And the Dogs are down quick, 3-0. All right, we'll swap some more lines. Josh Ressman gonna sneak on here with Landon Hicks and Luke Gunter. Ressman sends it back to Jake Ressman. Tries to get it to Dorsch. Can't get it away from the Belleville player. Dorsch has it. Again, can't get it past the Belleville player. Jake Ressman gives it a backhand to the Belleville player. Gunny wrestles it away. He hits Landon Hicks. Hicks got a semi-little breakaway. He shoots, and he scores. Landon Hicks with the second Bulldog goal of the year, the first one of the night, and he puts us on the board. We're now down 3-1. Attaboy, Landon Hicks. All right, now we've got Nimmo out with Hoyt and Cash Wallace. Belleville takes her cross. The blue line, shot on goal, stick saved by Konieczny. Battle in the corner, Jake Ressman. Here comes Nimmo. Nimmo tries to poke it. The center ice can't get there. Belleville is offsides. We are not even 3 minutes in yet, and there have been 4 goals scored. Nimmo on the face-off. Deacon Aravik is going to go chase that down in Bulldog territory. He waits a little bit to get rid of it. Gets it up to, there he is. Tyson Hoyt can't clear the zone. Then Deacon goes ahead and clears it back to center ice. Belleville skates it in. Altman has the puck in the corner, throws it in front, nobody home. Back to the blue line, there's Hubert. And there's a blocker save by Konieczny. Bulldogs busy banging it off the boards, but they can't clear it. That finally leaves the zone. Cash Wallace has the puck. He's just going to dump it deep. The Bulldogs are going to change. Little turnover in front of the net. Belleville controls the puck. They're going to break out. Here comes Henry Reed. He's going up against Cooper Hicks and Aravik. Nice 2 save. Well, the first one went off of Aravik's leg. The second one went off of Konieczny, so a nice save there. That one goes up in the air. Nobody can corral it. Belleville does. Gets it to the front. Konieczny makes the initial save, but doesn't shut the 5-hole, and Belleville scores yet again. All right, there's Hoyt on the faceoff. Up to Gunter. Gunter gets it across the line. Gunny with a shot. Knocked down by a Belleville leg, and that's going to go deep. Konieczny is going to lay on the puck, and he covers it up. Gus Tolley gives him a shove for Struberg as he gave the goalie an ice shower. Gus Tolley, if he hadn't already had dinner, might have eaten that kid for dinner tonight. Instead, he just gave him a little love bump just to let him know he was there and watching. So Gunner leaves that one for Hicks. Hicks is going to come across the blue line. Hicks pulls up, makes one person miss. Puck left. The Bulldogs can't keep it in. Here comes Stinson from Belleville. That puck taken away for the moment. Gunter gets it to Cooper Hicks. Played behind the net for Tolley. Reverses it back to Hicks. Hicks. Cooper is going to take it up to center ice, and he's just going to backhand it in. And they're going to call icing, even though he was literally about a foot behind the center ice line. 9:07 to play in period 1. Shots on goal. I don't know if you're able to see it or not. 7 for Belleville, 3 for the Bulldogs. But the goals are what counts on the board, and there, Belleville has scored 4 goals on 7 shots. The Bulldogs 1 on their 3 shots. Played around the back of the net. Here comes Nimmo. Nimmo with the puck, a 2-on-1. He's with Weiss. He gets it to Weiss. A little bit behind him there. And Belleville's able to break that up. Patton behind the back of the net, tries to clear it to the front, knocked away again by a Belleville stick. Played back to Jake Ressman. Jake, back to Weiss. Weiss gives it a full 360 and is looking. Back behind the net, there's Jake Ressman again. He can't keep that on his stick. Hauer filling in for Ressman while he moved ahead and skated up. And Hauer's going to try to clean that up and clear it out. He just chips it to the Belleville player. There's Ressman. Jacob Ressman looking to get out of the zone. Plays it up to Nimmo, and Jack is going to go in after it. They wave off icing. I don't know if Jack's hurt or what happened, but he skated a little bit more slowly than Jack usually does. Weiss down in the corner. And here comes Belleville across the Bulldog enemy territory, where they hit the side of the net with a shot. Nemo tries to chip it up. He does. Played back for the Belleville team. In front, broken up by Deacon Aravik. And Jack Soren gets a hand on that up to Mark Ammon. I don't know what that call is, but he made a little swirly move with his finger, and I'm not sure what that means. But there's a player going to the penalty box for Belleville for swirling. Yeah, I know. It's probably not it, but I have never seen that call before. What was that call? Yeah, that's what I said. 2 minutes for swirling. It's almost like when your drink is still settled at the top and you want to kind of break it up a little bit, you just put your finger in there. Oh, there we go. Too many men on the ice. I don't know how that translates into referee sign language, but it did. Bulldogs on the power play. They win the face-off, but unfortunately win it out of their zone. Tolley with the puck. Skates it back behind his net. Hubert's there. He hits a reverse button. And there's Kyson Hoyt. He gets it up to Hicks. Hicks tries to play it to Gunter, out of his reach. Hicks retreats, loses the puck. Tolley whacks it up to Gunter. Gunter just blasts it in the zone. And Hoyt is there. Hoyt plays it to Gunny. Gunny with his shot goes right off the goaltender's stick. Tries to play it to the front. It doesn't reach. Landon Hicks. That did not come out of the zone, but the referee is going to call offsides. I'm not sure what kind of angle he had there, but it was a bad one. Even Gus Tolley was like, yeah, that was not out of the zone. But seeing is hard, so we'll give him a break on that one. Hicks chips it in. And just as easily as that happens, Belleville chips at the length of the ice. Cooper Hicks goes back forward. Minute 14 left on the Bulldog power play. Played up to Gunter. It's caught in his skates. Gunter retreats. Can't get it out. He turns it over. Shot, and that goes into the rafters. Nemo on the faceoff. He wins it back to Tolley. Weiss can't clear the zone. He finally gets it out. And Belleville gets it to center ice. Ehlers loses the puck. Cooper Hicks chips it in up to Josh Ressman. Ressman throws it the diagonal length. Played back behind the net. Jack with a shot across. It doesn't get in there. And Cooper Hicks throws one at the goaltender, and he scoops it up. Another shot on goal for the Bulldogs as they create a couple of chances there. 6:04 left to go, period one. The Bulldogs trail 4-1. Nimmo wins that one forward. Ressman keeps it in, throws it in front. That's tipped in front by Pat Weiss. Nimmo gives a big shoulder. Weiss comes up with it, gets it to Ressman. Ressman shot right into the glove of the goaltender. And here comes Belleville. They get it to center ice. Cooper Hicks has the puck for the Bulldogs. Highland's going to get a little change going. Up to Gunny. Gunny plays it forward to Nimmo. Nimmo gets it across, and oh my goodness, he gives it a flying leap. And we're not. Okay, the puck is back here. Nemo's giving a shove by Reed. And here comes Dortch. Dortch with the puck. She clears it all the way across to Hicks. Nope, that's Kyson Hoyt. My bad. Dortch clears it all the way along the other side, and Konechny gives that a squeeze. Huge collision up by center ice with Henry Reed. And Captain Jack, and he both went flying. And then Jack gets back up and Reed knocks him down again. Kudos to Jack for not retaliating on that one, because he easily could have. Played across to Reagan Dortch. Reagan pushes it up to Gunny. It's caught in his skate, and Luke's going to retreat, try to circle up and see what he can find. And it just misses Landon Hicks, and we're going to have an icing call. Face off in Bulldog territory. Belleville wins it. They set it up like they're on a power play. They're not. That one's knocked down by Nemo. Nemo clears it ahead to Ammon, goes off his skate. And Belleville going to try to skate it in. Stood up the blue line by Reagan Dortch on a nice play. Mark Ammon gets it on a backhand and shoves it back towards center ice. Belleville, not offsides apparently. Shot, that goes wide. Played up to Zach Hauer, and Zach tosses it up to the blue line. Played into Highland zone. George just going to go ahead and clear it. Belleville tries to skate it, but they're offsides. Dortch sends it to Jake Ressman. Ressman goes back in his own territory. Just playing a game of catch. Both teams making sure everybody gets a chance to touch it tonight. That's cleared in front. Belleville with the puck behind the net. Dortch is going to go into the corner. And here comes Zach Hauer. Zach clears it ahead to Mark Ammon. Kept in by Josh Ressman for the moment. It hits Altman's skate. Ressman goes back in. Ressman tries to pull up and take a shot, and the Belleville player gets a stick on that one, and it just rolls and trickles up to the goaltender. On a line now, we've got Patton Weiss, Maddox Hazelhorse, centered by Josh Ressman Jr., with Tolian and Aravik on the defensive end. Ressman on the faceoff, wins that one back, out of the reach of Aravik. And here comes Belleville. They got a 2-on-0 shot. Heck of a save by Konechny. And he falls on it for the moment. And the puck was loose, but we got a whistle. Same five out there. Shot by Reed right into the chest of Konechny. And he'll fall on top of that one. 2 minutes, 41 seconds left. Period one, the Dogs trail Belleville 4-1. Belleville's Henry Reed. Giving the business back there to Deacon Aravik. That's cleared up to Hazelhorse. Maddox Hazelhorse clears it up to Patton Weiss. He just backhand jammers that thing into the Belleville territory, and then Patton Weiss lays a shoulder on a Belleville player. My goodness, that was a good one. Back to the point. Ressman Jr. fires. That hits the goaltender in the chest. Weiss still passing it. He gets it to Ressman. And Hazelhorse gets a stick in there because that whistle had not blown yet. Way to go, Maddox. And he's going to try to sneak one by the Belleville netminder, but it's shut down. 4-1, 2:05 left to play. The Bulldogs' lone goal scored by Landon Hicks. Bulldogs have 2 on the year. He's got both. That one flied to the corner. Cooper Hicks keeps that one in for the moment. Here comes Belleville. They're going to skate it and then take a shot out. Gus Tolley's going back for it. A lot of ice slapping with the sticks. That one's cleared up to Hicks. Hicks gets it, and it gets taken from him by the Belleville player. Oh, Gunny almost gets a stick on that, but it was out of his reach. Played back to Gus Tolley. Tolley passes it up center ice. There's Gunny. He falls down, tries to get it to Hicks. He does. Gets taken from him in the corner. Played back in front. Tolley tries to keep it in. He does. And that one goes up into the rafters with 1:08 to play. Belleville 4, Highland 1. Shots on goal favor Belleville 13-10. And we'll have a change. We're going to get Bogacki and Oren centered by Nimmo with Restman Jr. and Hicks on the back. Bogacki with a shot. That goes wide. Hits off of a body in front, I believe. Played all the way back. Skips over Restman's stick. Restman gets that up to Bogacki, who passes it to Nimmo. Nimmo going to take the puck. He's one-on-one with a Belleville player. He can't get around him. Throws it in front. There's Oren. Oren on a backhand. And it gets knocked down by the Belleville goaltender arbiter. And he falls on that with 40.6 left to play. Restman Jr. wins that one. Back to Wallace. It's in front and loose. Weiss is out there. Battle along the boards here. Highland trying to keep it in. A couple of Restman brothers with a Wallace. It ends up squirting the Belleville way. And they're going to try to carry it up and out. Cash Wallace does a great job of keeping it in. Up to Josh Restman Jr. and Belleville's going to skate that puck out. And over the line, it's 2-on-2. Unable to connect with Brown in front. Wallace has the puck. Chopped up to Restman, and you hear the horn, which signals, what was I saying? The end of the first period. Highland down 4-1 to Belleville. 13-12 shots on goal. We'll break for just a hot second, so you don't have to listen to Charlie Brown music. All right. For those of you who like peanuts, you're hearing it. All right, we've got Hoyt on with Hicks and Gunter. Aravik and Tolley on the face-off. 14 minutes on the clock, and let's get it started here in period number 2. Gunter pokes that one away from Hubert. Length of the ice, and guess what? It's an icing. Point on the face-off. Still with Gunter and Hicks. And that one is cleared past Deacon Aravik. He's going to go down after that. Tolley gets to it first, but Hubert beats him to it. Tolley's down. Shot goes off of a stick in front. Tolley's back up. Shot off of Konieczny. Gunny's going to try to get to it and pokes it around and gets it up to Hicks. Hicks is one-on-one. Gunter picks it up. Back to Hicks. Gunner can't pick that up and keep track of it. Up to Hubert for Belleville. Bulldog D trying to get back. That one is scooped up. Here comes Hoyt. He gets that one to Hicks. Hicks over to Gunny. They're 2-0. Shot. And it's saved. Another shot saved by Arbiter. And here comes Belleville. Aravik is going to try to hustle and get back. That one is chipped up way too high. Here comes Gunny with the puck. He gets it to center ice. And over into the corner. With the puck is Josh Ressman Jr. He's looking in front. Gets it to Weiss. Shot and a goal. And that goes Ressman to Weiss. Back to Ressman. Goalie's going to argue that the net came off, and it definitely did, but I don't know if it was before or after the goal. Goal called good. And it's 4-2 on a goal by Josh Ressman Jr. for the Bulldogs. On the faceoff, Nemo goes bouncing after the puck. That one turned over. Nice hit by Jake Ressman. Cleared up to Jack Nemo. He gets it by one Belleville defender, but can't get it by the second one. George ties up Reed. Reed advances the puck forward. Off of Konieczny. Allers passes it back to the blue line. That one's just thrown into the corner. Reed's going to set up shop. In front, can't get to Reed. It's official. Ressman from Weiss at 12:41. And here come the Dogs yet again. Hicks and Gunter to be centered by Hoyt. That one goes forward, and Kyson does a nice job of tying up the Belleville player. Gunter flips that on his stick, goes backhand in front, knocked down by Arbiter, kept in by Cooper Hicks, back to Hoyt. Hoyt throws it back to, that was Jake Ressman, throws it in front, and Arbiter goes ahead and makes the save. Cooper Hicks, Landon Hicks, Jake Ressman, Kyson Hoyt, Luke Gunter. 11:29 left to play, period 2. Cooper tries to keep it in. That one's played across, and here comes Ressman Jr. He's just going to go ahead and punch it in. Gunny's going to try to give chase. That puck is scooped up and kept in his skates. Gunny holding against the boards. A Belleville player comes to the rescue, and he just chips it down the ice. He's going to get around Cooper Hicks, but it's going to be an icing. 11 minutes even left to play in period 2. Belleville 4, Highland 2. Nimmo going to center Josh Ressman and Patton Weiss. Aravik and Tolley back on D. Nimmo straight across. I don't know, we give that one a draw. Ravik's got eyes on that one, but here comes Hubert. Hubert with a shot knocked down by Konieczny, loose. Konieczny then grabs that thing out of midair. And he will hang on. Back to the point, tipped in front. Nicely done by Belleville. Highland. Wade Konieczny makes a really good save, and then we clear it all the way down the ice. For an icing call. Nimmo wins that one. Areva clears it all the way around to Patton Weiss. Weiss gives it a backhand to Nimmo. Loses it for the moment, but gets it, and he's just going to dump it the length of the ice. Weiss being tied up in the corner. Ressman going in after that. He sees Nimmo in front, trying to get it to him. Jack was pushed out of the slot. And here comes Belleville along the left wing. Oh, he had the wraparound, but he hit the post. That went all the way back here. And that one's knocked down. And that one's going to go the length of the ice, and we will get an icing call. And the Bulldogs needed a bit of a change there, so we're happy with that. Boyd at the center again, won by Belleville. Reed shoots that just a bit wide. Back to Gunter. Gunter chips it to Hicks. Hicks is just going to throw it deep into Belleville territory. Makes one move around Hicks. Tries to make a move around Gunter. Gunter had it for a second. He's got it again. Bouncing around, bounding around, and that one is going to go the length of the ice for an icing call. We've had plenty of those here in the last couple of minutes. I would say that 5 is plenty, because that's about what we've had. Highland with a little bit of decent pressure here. Outside of those first 3 minutes, we've played Belleville pretty evenly. Henry Reed's going to skate that one out, and he gets that up to Allers. Allers with a shot. He tries going for the top corner of the net, and it goes wide. That one's bouncing. Gunter up to Hicks. Hicks tries to keep that on his skate, gets it to Gunny. Gunny can't get around the Belleville player. Reed puts it on his teammate's stick. Oh my gosh, and what a nice backhander by Henry Reed. He takes it on his backhand and he loops it right over Konieczny's right shoulder to give Belleville a 5-2 lead over the Bulldogs. Ressman and Wallace being centered by Nimmo. Nimmo's got it. Back to Gus Tolley. Tolley finds Ressman Jr. Tolley wins that one forward. Nimmo carries it. Goes to the backhand. It's bouncing in front after being shook out by Arbiter. And here comes Belleville. They're 2-on-2, coming in with a head of steam. Konieczny covers it up. Kids flying everywhere. Belleville player scored himself as he went flying over Konieczny. And Wade makes a good save, and he holds it. Belleville has 21 shots on goal. Highland was 17. Belleville wins the faceoff. Shot, that goes wide. Wade shuts that one down. Played around the back of the net. Belleville being very patient with the puck. Highland can't get it out. Still waiting to get it out. Shot on goal. Konieczny makes the save. Tolley has lost his stick. Back to Belleville. Tolley's still without a stick. Here come the Bulldogs. Cash Wallace throws it towards the net, knocked away by the goaltender. Wallace goes back forward. He's looking for somebody in front. Plays a bank. Nice geometry there by Wallace. Back to Cooper Hicks. Cooper throws in front of Nimmo. He tries to get a deflection. Does, but shoots it just wide. Back to Cooper Hicks. Played back down to Wallace. Wallace looking for Restman Jr. out of his reach. Played back to the corner. Belleville's going to grab the puck and just dump it to center ice. Cooper Hicks back to play defense. Highland able to squirt it up. Here comes Nimmo. Nimmo with Hauer. Nimmo tries to make a move. It gets caught in the skates of a Belleville player. And Jack is going to go for the change. And here comes, who's got that puck? That's Kyson Hoyt. Hauer keeps it in. Hoyt with the puck. Tries to clear it over to Oren, who can't glove it down. Nice keep for a minute by Dortch, and here comes Belleville 2-on-1. Hoyt's back now. We're going to even that up. Huber with a shot on goal, and it's saved by Wade Konieczny with 6:09 left to play in period 2. Over to Oren. Oren can't clear the puck. Now he does with his skate, and here comes Hauer. Zach Hauer racing after it. That's played too far for the Belleville player, and we will get an icing call. Nimmo out to center, Gunter and Hicks. Gunter goes in after. He's got it on his stick. Looking. Shoots and scores. Gunter goes over the shoulder of Arbiter. And that was one heck of a risker to make it 5-3 for the Bulldogs. Gunter's been working hard for that one. Shutout last night in Bethalto. Has a goal and an assist tonight. Off the faceoff. Up to Gunter again. Gunter bangs that one off of a skate. Along the boards, there's Altman. And that was not a hand pass, but it's called a hand pass. Good job, Coop. Lots of comments from the peanut gallery. Who isn't wrong, by the way. We'll bring it back to the center dot. Cooper gets that one up to Gunny. Again, too far for him. And guess what? You're right. Another icing. And the music might put us to sleep here at, 2 a.m.? I'm lucky I'm pretty. I don't need that much beauty sleep. And you can't make comments on here. At least I can't hear you. And I never learned to read, so that's wonderful. Bulldogs trying to get that puck out of their zone. Cooper Hicks takes it back for a little skate. Bangs it around the outside to Luke Gunter. Gunter doesn't do much with that. He looks tired. Cooper Hicks with the puck. Here comes Reed with Belleville, for Belleville. And he gets a shot on, and it is covered up right there by Konechny. All right, come on, Kyson Hoyt. Here he comes across center ice. Poked away by Niegluski. Back to Cooper Hicks. That shot goes just wide, and it goes up and near the Canadian flag. And it hits the net. Deflected off of a Belleville stick. Ressman centers Hoyt and Mark Ammon. On defense, Gus Tolley and Jacob Ressman. That one is cleared down the ice, and say it with me. Icing. We might get to play a third period. There's been a whole lot of icings this period. Holy smokes. On the faceoff, won by Ressman over to Hoyt. Tolley gets it over to his friend Jake Ressman in front. Knocked around. There's Mark Ammon. He was trying to get a stick on it. It is just being battered all over the place. Tolley with the puck. Oh, loses a blade there. And here comes Belleville. They're 4-on-2. Ressman coming back to back check. Hoyt gets a body on a body. Cleared right in front. What a great save by Konechny. He got a big old piece of that. Where a kid from Belleville had a shot point blank. That one doesn't make it through traffic. Neither does that one. Ammon trying to carry the puck out. He lifts the stick of the Belleville player. Nice try by Mark. Belleville looking to center. Goes around the backside of the net. 3:30 left to play, period 2. Belleville leads at 5-3. That one's on Ressman's stick. He's looking. He's got Hoyt. Hoyt's going to go one-on-one with a Belleville player and just push it down towards the net. Oh, nice job there by Ressman as he tries to get a stick and push it in the goal. And it's covered up by Arbiter with 3:12 left to go. In period number 2, Belleville 5, Highland 3. Nimmo on the faceoff. Pushed over to Patton Weiss. Patton can't get that one through traffic. Aravik does a good job. Nice hand-eye coordination there by Deke. Weiss with the puck. Tries to get it to his backhand. Stick gets lifted. Here comes Belleville as they skate it out of the zone. Hazelhorst in pursuit on a back check, and Belleville clears that one into their own bench, where we'll get a whistle. Huber with the puck gets a nice wrister, and that's stopped by the neck of Wade Konechny. Here comes Nimmo. Nimmo gets around Altman. He's giving him the business all the way around the back of the net. Hazelhorst going in after it. Dortch trying to keep it in. It's pushed out of the Bulldogs' enemy territory. Shot, knocked down by Konieczny. And we get a couple of hockey players that are from Highland clearing out a Belleville player or two. 2 minutes, 14 seconds left, period number 2. Hoyt tying him up at the faceoff. Hoyt whips that one around. It goes the length of the ice for an icing call. On the faceoff, it's Hoyt. He wins it back to Cooper Hicks. Cooper gets tied up to Landon Hicks now. Oh, that one takes a weird little bounce. And we've got a little bit of a breakout here. It's 3-on-3 as Landon Hicks just dumps it down for Kyson Hoyt. Hoyt gets puck taken from him. Jacob Ressman gets it to Cooper Hicks, who punches it forward. Gunny going in after that. Hoyt going to keep that one in. Oh, he's taken into the boards, and that might be... that's definitely a rough, but is it a 2 and a 10? He may end up getting a 2 and a 10. Nope, he's not. He's just going to get a rough. And I thought a possible 2 and a 10. It did look like Henry Reed eased into it a little bit. But Hoyt's neck was turned and his back was turned. And he went face first into the boards. But he looks like he's good. Highland will go on the power play. Hoyt wins it back to Hicks. Hicks punches it over to Gunter. It gets through him. Highland can't keep it in. Gunter, he's got Hicks. Gunny with the puck. He shoots. Can't get it through. Hicks can't keep it in. That thing blisters out of the Bulldog zone. That went up to Landon Hicks. Here comes Landon Hicks. He's 1-on-3. Shot, that just goes wide. Highland was making a change at center. That one goes wide. And Hicks is going to touch up. He gets that one over to Patton Weiss, and Weiss is just going to dump it in. Nimmo gives chase. Back behind the net, he goes in hard into the boards. Cooper Hicks keeps it in. No, just for the minute. And recovers nicely. That a boy, Cooper Hicks. He looks good tonight. 24 seconds left to go, period 2. Puck goes behind the net. Here comes Belleville. They're just going to clear it up. Hubert gets it to Altman. Tolley rides him like Seabiscuit. Nimmo knocks him off the puck. Back behind the net with 2 seconds left. And that'll do it for period 2. We'll take a minute. Bulldogs will be on the power play for the next 28 seconds coming out of the break. All right. One last push. Restman is going to center Hicks and Gunny. Here comes Landon Hicks. Gets a shot into the breadbasket of Arbiter. We'll hold it. Gunter with the puck. Oh, he's knocked off of it. All the way back. There is Aravik. That thing bounces over the stick of Landon Hicks. Here comes Restman. Gets it up to Hicks. Here comes Aravik. He's going to clear it all the way down the ice. And we'll get an icing call. Oh, no. Tolley works it up to Weiss. Too far for Nimmo. And we're going to have an offside call. I don't think we're going to get a full period in here. We've got about 13 minutes of ice time and 13 minutes of game clock. Those 96 icings in the second period did not help. Nimmo on the faceoff. Into center ice. There's Dortch ahead to Hoyt. Hoyt misses the puck, cleared forward by Dortch. Just playing a heck of a game of catch. Dortch is doing a great job there, keeping it in. And here comes Belleville. Nice job by Jack Nimmo. He's going to clear it. They're one-on-one. He gets it around. Nimmo with a shot. Shut down by Arbiter. Cleared back behind the net. There's Nimmo. Tolley chips it forward to keep it in. Weiss throws it in front to Hoyt, and a shot and a goal. Weiss to Hoyt on a beautiful clear right to the front, and Tyson Hoyt gets his first varsity goal of the year. The Dogs pull within one at 5-4. Restman is going to center Orrin, and it looks like Cash Wallace, CJ Weiss having a word over there with the referee. I don't know if he's trying to get clarification or what's going on, but shots now 26-23. Belleville with a 5-4 lead where it counts. Restman on the faceoff. Here comes Belleville. That's up to Orrin. Orrin gets it up to Wallace. Wallace clears the center ice. Here comes Belleville. They're fighting over the same puck, but wearing the same color uniform. One Belleville player drops to the other. That one's picked up over there by Cash Wallace. Restman gets it to Orrin. Orrin with a shot. Restman looking. Takes a tough angle shot and hits the post. All the way back, and here comes Belleville. They're one-on-one. 2-on-1. A shot. Konieczny shuts it down to make it. A glove save there as he traps it against his body. Hicks is going to pick that one up. Aravik gets that up. There's Gunny. There's Nimmo. It's a 2-on-1. Nimmo shoots, and that's a save by Arbiter. Nimmo with the puck again. That one cleared across the ice. Picked up by Cooper Hicks. Back across the blue line. Here comes Belleville. They get it across Bulldog territory. That one's got Cooper Hicks written all over it in front. He's being tied up. CC Biscuit again. Aravik with the puck. He turns that over at the blue line. Konieczny scoops that one up and hangs on to it. With 10:40 to go here in period number 3. Bulldogs down 5-4 to Belleville. Tolley around to Weiss. Weiss gets smoked with a friggin' elbow and nothing. Ressman has Ammon. He gets taken out, and that one goes up and into the netting. No call on Belleville for the elbow to Patton Weiss's face. Wow. Right in front of the bench. I don't know how that happens. Belleville got away with one there. That one is cleared all the way down the ice for a whistle. Ressman's got Weiss and Hammond. On the backside, he's got Tolley and Ressman. Belleville wins that one. Can't clear it out. Josh has the puck tangled his feet behind the net. Hammond's there. Gus Tolley. And here comes Belleville. Altman, shot and a goal to Hubert to make it 6-4 Belleville. (6-4), 10:02 left to play, period 3. Bulldogs have shown some heart clawing back after being down 4-1 within the first 5 minutes of the game. But let's see how much that heart extends right now. Hoyt Gunter and Landon Hicks. On defense, it's Aravik and Dortch. Here comes Belleville. They're looking to break out. They're 2-on-1. Passed in front. Gunny can't get that one past Welsh. That comes out. Aravik ties up Belleville's player along the far boards. Aravik comes out with that. Chipped up to Gunter. There's Hicks. Hicks can't corral it. Coming at him at a tough angle. Turned over. There's Gunter. Gunter makes one move. Shot. Knocked down by Arbiter. And Hoyt's going to keep that in to Gunter. He can't hold on to that one. Try to make a move around Hicks. Hicks is there. Gunny goes around the backside. Shut down pretty quickly. And Belleville has a breakaway. Shot knocked down by Konieczny, and he saves it. With 8 minutes and 53 seconds left. But for how long? Because we've got about 5 minutes of ice time left. Again, unofficially, because I'm not sure exactly what time we got started. Varsity allows an hour and 15 minutes of your ice time because they do starting lineups, national anthem, etc. That one, Wade puts a big old blocker on top of. So from whenever warm-ups start until an hour and 10 minutes, then after there's 5 minutes of ice time left, you drop it to 2 minutes. Bulldogs have that puck. Weiss puts it on his backhand. The Bulldogs look exhausted. Jake Ressman, he has the puck. There's Nimmo taking on a couple of Belleville players. He shoots that one high and wide and up into the netting. Referee takes a look at the board, then takes a look at the clock, and then he's going to say, drop that down to 2 minutes. Highland coaches see the writing on the wall. Yep, and there's the signal. They did not drop it to 2 minutes because there's still 8-something left on the clock. Ehlers with the puck, puts that in front. Nice job by Konieczny to read that. All the way around. There's Hicks to Nimmo. I saw the referee signal for 2 minutes, but the scorekeepers didn't do anything about it. Maybe he said at the next whistle. Who knows? Reed with a shot. That one smothered. By Konieczny. Shots on goal 37-26. Jake Ressman has that one off the stick of Gunter. That's up to Hicks. He chips it forward. He's going in with Altman around the boards. Hoyt tries to keep that one in. Hoyt over to Gunter. Gunter with a shot. That goes through the crease. Ressman is there. Jake Ressman skates it around all the way in. Jake looking for something. Tolley stays back. Hoyt stays back. There's Gus with a shot. And that one's covered up by the goaltender. And now we're going to get the 2-minute signal. Again. He tells the head coach, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. There we are. Maybe the first time he was telling him 2 minutes till 2 minutes. I don't know. Gunny with that puck. He shoots it. And that is, again, smothered by the glove of Arbiter. He didn't get a whole lot of mustard on that one. Back to Jake Ressman. Ressman dumps that one in. He's got Hoyt. Hoyt looking in front. He's getting tied up from all directions. Kyson putting up a heck of a fight. Here comes Ressman. He gets it across the blue line. Jake's going to go in and chase. And that one's going to come all the way back. There's Kyson Hoyt. Kyson. We're looking for somebody to take that. Up to Hicks. Poked away from him. Too deep for Gunny. And Tolley goes back after it. Tolley gets hit from a side. There's Landon Hicks. He's going to break out. And he puts that one in the skates of a Belleville player. Played around back for Dortch. That puck goes to a Belleville player. And here comes Nimmo. Gunny's going to go off. Jack has got Landon Hicks. Jack pushes it around the back of the net. There's Hicks. He's got it for a second. Still on his stick. That hits the skate in front. Nice job by Aravik to keep it in to Hicks. Hicks all the way around the back to Nimmo. Nimmo looking in front. Highland running out of time with 25 seconds left. Cleared around the back of the net. There's Hicks trying to set something up. Hicks giving the business behind the net. 18 seconds left. Highland showing some heart here. Everybody looking exhausted. And it is, they say it's touched. 7 seconds left to play. Belleville player knocked down behind the Highland net, and that's going to do it for tonight. Highland drops their second in a row. Outshot tonight, 37-29. Final score, Belleville 6, Highland 4. That'll do it from the McKendree Metro Rec Plex. Be safe, everybody. And we'll be in action soon. Thanks for tuning in and spending your night with us. Have a good evening.